A tectonic plate is a large slab of Earth's lithosphere that moves slowly over the mantle. Plate tectonics is the theory that explains how moving plates shape Earth's surface through collisions and separation. A fault is a fracture in Earth's crust along which rocks have moved. An earthquake is the sudden shaking of the ground caused by the release of stress along faults or plate boundaries. A volcano is an opening in Earth's crust through which magma, ash, and gases erupt. A hotspot is a place where rising mantle heat creates volcanic activity away from plate boundaries. A subduction zone is a plate boundary where one tectonic plate sinks beneath another. A mid-ocean ridge is an underwater mountain chain where new oceanic crust forms as plates diverge. A rift valley is a long depression formed where a continent is being pulled apart. An alluvial fan is a fan-shaped deposit of sediments where a stream leaves a mountain valley. A moraine is a ridge of debris deposited by a glacier. Permafrost is ground that remains frozen for at least 2 consecutive years. A steppe is a semi-arid grassland with limited rainfall and few trees. Savanna is a tropical grassland with scattered trees and distinct wet and dry seasons. A rain shadow is a dry region on the leeward side of mountains where moist air has lost its precipitation. An arid climate is a climate with very low precipitation relative to evaporation. A Mediterranean climate has dry summers and mild, wetter winters. A tundra is a cold biome with permafrost and low-growing vegetation. A taiga is a high-latitude coniferous forest biome with long, cold winters. A watershed divide is the high ground that separates neighboring drainage basins. A lake is an inland body of standing water surrounded by land. An aquifer is an underground layer of rock or sediment that stores and transmits groundwater. Groundwater is water stored beneath the surface in soil and rock pores. Irrigation is the artificial supply of water to land to support agriculture. A canal is a human-made waterway built for transport, irrigation, or water management. A reservoir is an artificial or natural lake used to store water for supply and control. A drought is a prolonged period of unusually low precipitation that causes water shortages. A floodplain is flat land beside a river that is prone to flooding when water levels rise. A cyclone is a large rotating storm system organized around a low-pressure center. A hurricane is a tropical cyclone in the Atlantic or Eastern Pacific with very strong sustained winds. A typhoon is a tropical cyclone in the Western Pacific with very strong sustained winds. A storm surge is an abnormal rise of seawater pushed onto land by strong winds in a storm. Sea level rise is the long-term increase in the average height of the ocean surface. A tsunami is a series of large waves generated by sudden displacement of seawater, often from earthquakes. A natural hazard is a naturally occurring event that can cause damage, injury, or loss of life. A region is an area defined by shared characteristics such as culture, climate, or economy. A formal region is defined by an agreed-upon boundary, such as a country or a climate zone. A functional region is organized around a central node, such as a city and its commuting area. A vernacular region is defined by people's perceptions and cultural identity rather than official borders. A corporifery pattern describes how resources and power concentrate in a core area while peripheral areas depend on it. A hinterland is the area surrounding a city or port that it economically serves and influences. A corridor is a strip of land with concentrated transport and development connecting major centers. A choke point is a narrow route, often maritime, whose control is strategically important. A port is a coastal facility where ships load and unload cargo and passengers. A hub is a central place in a network where traffic or connections concentrate. A supply chain is the connected system that moves a product from raw materials to consumers. A commodity is a basic good, such as oil or wheat, that is traded in large quantities. A landlocked country is a country with no direct access to the sea. An enclave is a territory completely surrounded by another territory. An exclave is a portion of a country separated from the main part by foreign territory. A federation is a state system in which power is shared between a central government and regional units. A unitary state is a state system in which most governing power is held by the central government. Decentralization is the transfer of authority from a central government to local governments or regions. Geopolitics is the study of how geography influences power, strategy, and international relations. A buffer state is a country located between rival powers that reduces direct conflict between them. A sphere of influence is a region where an external power holds strong political or economic sway. Territorial waters are the sea areas close to a coast where a state exercises sovereignty. A dispute boundary is a border whose location or status is contested by two or more parties. A demographic transition is a long-term shift from high birth and death rates to low birth and death rates. An aging society is a society where the share of older people increases due to lower birth rates and longer life expectancy.